What's going on, everybody? If all is well, so let's recap UFC 326. And overall, the card was great, outstanding card. And let's get into the main event. So Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira for the BMF title. And I want to say I'm not surprised of the outcome. I'm more surprised the fact that Max Holloway didn't get submitted. And that's kudos to his submission defense because this fight was completely dominated by Charles Oliveira from bell to bell. Ever since the first round when he just took him down effortlessly, I knew that it's gonna be a rough night at the office for Max Holloway. And he didn't get submitted. I mean, Charles just took him down at will, controlled him, uh, threatened him with submissions. But I was surprised Max didn't get submitted, and that shout out to him, man. But I wasn't surprised of this outcome. I thought that if Max was able to keep this fight standing, then it would be intriguing. On the feet, especially when he gets his jab and his rhythm going. It was going to be interesting to see how Charles react to that. But that never came into play. Charles immediately first round took him down effortlessly, and Charles on the ground, man, he's an absolute savant when he takes his opponents down, and I like his style, man. When he takes guys down, he controls them. He was landing some good elbows. He was always chasing the submission. So in my opinion, this wasn't a boring fight. It was a very entertaining fight for me because I'm a huge fan of technique. Whether it's striking technique or grappling techniques, I'm a fan of it all. So, and for everyone saying, "Oh, this fight was boring," you know, I didn't see it that way. I see one fighter, Charles Oliveira, completely dominating Max Holloway, which is crazy to say on the ground. Took him down at will. Max was in straight survival mode on the ground. And guess what? It takes a BMF like Charles Oliveira to do that to Max Holloway. So, I get it. I get it. Not everybody is a fan of grappling. Everybody wants to see a guy get knocked out. But in my opinion, anybody can get knocked out. All right. But when you impose your will onto your opponent like Charles did, I mean, I think that's more impressive. To go out there and just dominate a guy like Max Holloway from bell to bell? Come on, man. What's more impressive than that? But with that being said, I do understand the fact that, somebody didn't get knocked out or this fight wasn't mainly contested on the feet. But, teach his own. When it comes to technique, whether it's in striking or grappling, I'm a huge fan of technique. And this fight, man, it it was sensational to watch, in my opinion. But yeah, Charles Oliveira getting the job done. What's next for him? I don't know, man. Like, who do you give him? Um, Arman Sarukian, maybe. Me personally, I would love to see a rematch between Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian because in the first fight, Charles Oliveira came close to submitting Arman Sarukian twice. One with a triangle and the other one with a dart stroke. But the clock saved Arman Sarukian. And that was a 3-round fight. I would love to see them run it back in a 5-rounder, maybe for BMF title. I mean, come on. That makes sense because I don't know what's going on with Arman. Is he getting the next title shot? I say to make it happen. All right. But hats off to Charles Oliveira, man. Another impressive performance in the bag. All right. In the co-main event, Carl Bahario getting the job done against Renel de Ritter. I'm not surprised. It kind of played out the way I thought it would. Carl avoiding the takedowns, using the striking, to his advantage and en route to unanimous decision victory. And next, Rahul Rosa Jr. Getting the job done against Rob Font. Now, Raul's getting better. Obviously, he's young guy, and his wrestling is improved. Um, right off the bat, his jiu-jitsu is phenomenal, but his takedowns were really good. I know, and getting solid win against a against a seasoned veteran like a Rob Font. Very impressive performance by Raul Rosa Jr. All right, and hold up, let's move down card. All right, Drew Dover knocking out Michael Johnson. I mean, Drew Dover, that left that left hand was just picture perfect, just clean, right down the pipe, and it floored Michael Johnson, and it was a bad knockout. His legs was stiff, and Michael Johnson, I'm a fan of Michael Johnson, and I don't like to see guys just get knocked out repeatedly like he has been, and also he's no spring chicken. He's 40 and he's getting flatlined. It's tough to watch, but it's part of the sport. But anyway, hats off to Drew Dover, man. Getting the job done via TKO. And to round out the main card, Gregory Rodriguez getting the first round TKO over Bruno Ferreira. I forgot they fought before, and in the first time they met, Bruno knocked out Rodriguez, and this time around, Rodriguez got his revenge. I mean, one shot is all it took from RoboCop to get it done. Now, to be honest, this fight could have literally go either way, because both these guys, they both have big power. They both throw with bad intentions, and yeah, this fight could literally went either way. But hats off to RoboCop getting the job done. And like I said, from top to bottom, this card was pretty solid, pretty solid card. And also the prelims was fire as well. Yeah, the prelims were pretty good. Yeah, the Cody Garbrandt fight was insane. that was insanity. From him getting kneed in the groin 3 times, to him like vomiting, and yeah, I never heard that before. Basically he basically had to survive the third round, and he was handed a victory. You know, but yeah, that was insane. And I agree with the Herb Dean deducting a point from the groin strikes. Me personally, I think every time you kick somebody unintentionally below the belt, it should be a point. It should be automatic 1 point deduction. No warning, 1 point. You know, because man, when you get kicked in your groin, that compromises you tremendously, and you don't really fully recover. You know, so I say 1 point deduction every time you kick somebody below the belt. That's just my opinion. But yeah, overall, phenomenal card, man. And again, hats off to Charles Oliveira, man, getting the job done against Max Holloway. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you guys be safe and enjoy the fights. Peace.